Well, we're going to examine the word sustainable pretty carefully today because recently it's been morphed into so many different meanings to suit so many different needs. And it's the latest buzz. Now, I found that the word sustainable for most people refers to our energy sector. How many miles per gallon of gas your car can achieve, how many energy efficient light bulbs you can switch out to save electricity, and to waste, how, what, when to recycle, or the next step up into composting. Often we think of economic sustainability, but in most areas of the world, no one really knows much about, and they don't really care to hear or talk about what effect our food or their food has on our environment. And that's because they're unaware. They're unaware and they're pretty comfortable being that way despite the enormous effect. It's simply too challenging for everybody, isn't it? Culturally, socially, economically. I call it global depletion. The loss of our primary resources on Earth, as well as our own health. It's still sustainability. I just think we need to hear it from a different direction, and we need to hear the whole story through an unfiltered lens. So how many here are familiar with Michael Pollan's work, or Mark Bittman, or Jamie Oliver? Yeah, about the industrialization of food. Sure, high fructose corn syrup, important? Yeah, but these are just fragments of the picture. We need to move beyond all that, well beyond that, and understand the entire picture, the sustainability of our planet, our resources, and ourselves. And to do this, we always need to include topics such as loss of biodiversity, world hunger, sustainability of our own health, water scarcity, agricultural land use inefficiencies, and the state of our oceans and fish. It's a very long and potentially daunting list, isn't it? But you know what? They're all affected. All right, with food choice, or life in general, I think the key to understanding or solving a problem really begins with recognition that there is indeed a problem to solve. So maybe we should view the Earth as one of us, treat it as a patient. For instance, none of us are aware of our planet's cholesterol levels or cardiovascular condition, are we? And certainly most of us are not aware or even concerned about the increasing size of Earth's cancerous tumor or its sudden loss of weight. How about the failing lungs of our planet? Are we aware of those on a daily basis? Or the traumatic and permanent loss of one of our planet's fingers or arms or legs? Things that we may never see again. The Javan and the Tasmanian tiger are already gone. And then there's the mental status. Are we aware of the severe psychosis our Earth is struggling with? See, the answer to all that is no. I mean, we're not aware. Unfortunately, there are no annual checkups, and information about our planet's health hasn't been managed very well, and hasn't been related correctly to our choice of foods. It's never a good idea to cover these things up. Once we're better able to communicate the reality of the state of our planet, the global depletion caused by our choice of foods, and once awareness levels are raised, well, then solving these issues and creating a truly healthy planet becomes easier, doesn't it? Just like the patient. The story begins with these two numbers. There are 6.9 billion people living on our planet today, and control of the growth of our population is an issue, but it's not nearly so much of a problem as the number on the right, what we're doing to the planet. The number on the right represents the fact that there are more than 70 billion animals living on our planet that we raise and eat for food each year, and it repeats itself year after year in growing numbers, and that's the problem. In fact, this 70 billion number is quite impossible, and I use that word correctly. It's quite impossible to pin down because on any given day, you may find up to 1.7 trillion chickens or 1 to 2 trillion fish in the world on their way sooner or later going off to slaughter. Let's look at a graphic about global depletion then. Certainly there are other industries that contribute to this picture, but none have the comprehensive impact. And just how serious is this depletion? Well, very. In some cases, it's irreversible and spiraling downward quickly. All of these systems that you see are affected. Simply put, we're demanding more of our planet's resources than what it can supply. It would take 1.5 to 2 full Earths to sustain what we're currently taking from and doing to our planet. And most of this is due to our choice of foods. It's serious enough on its own merit, but it's made much more so because of all the layers and layers of various influences that tend to bury the problem and bury its solutions. We just don't want to deal with it. We can put every other major problem in the world at the top of the list to fix, except for this one. And yet, this is the world. Now, what's critical for everyone to understand is that this isn't just a factory farm issue. It's a raising animals to eat issue.